That's what I do before a soccer game every time. I just kind of clear my head and get ready to figure out what to do. Okay. Here's what we know. Alyssa was enlisted and excelled in different areas in the Army. Spent some time at the language center learning Arabic. Made her way into Army intelligence, doing interrogations. The assignment that she had was for a holding area, an interrogation facility that was known as the Cage. So she was in Tal Afar, Iraq for 3 weeks. We didn't know she'd been deployed. We thought she was in Kentucky still. First word we get is, she was killed in Iraq, and we didn't know she was in Iraq. The official cause of death is a non-combat related weapons discharge. So her body was found with what they've said was a note, which has been destroyed. We never saw any note, and her rifle. She was shot in the head. And that might be about all we know.
The fourth and final set of findings and conclusions concern how the interrogations of CI detainees were absolutely brutal. Stripped naked, diapered, physically struck, and put in various painful stress positions for long periods of time.
Every time our nation cuts a corner, and every time we act out of fear and abandon who we are, we always regret it. That's happened forever.
Good warm-up. Start thinking about your goals and how your performance is going to meet those goals today. If I was to describe her, she's very introspective, great athlete. I read that she was too empathetic to prisoners, and I'd like to know what that was. I don't know what she objected to specifically, but I know she was a sensitive person. She didn't want suffering. So I can see her not being comfortable very quickly with her role in that. We didn't know she was doing art. We didn't know, when she was home and growing up, she was not an artist. She'd never done anything. So my older brother took those images and scanned them and made this book. Another thing I grabbed, just her Army bag. Again, just, I need a connection to her. And then she was an awesome soccer player, so I stole her soccer ball too. I'm a coach, and my daughters, my kids all play, and so it seemed fitting that, that I could steal her soccer ball. I've just got those little pieces of her. After Alyssa died, my dad said, we don't want to know anymore. We're not going to investigate. We're not going to ask questions. She's gone. And at the time, we just kind of followed his lead. And as brothers, and, said, okay, and put aside our own questions and wondering. And, talking to my mom last week, asking, remind me, what did we know? What did we get from the government? What official stuff came? And there's not much. We really don't know much at all, and I think we didn't push because that was my dad's wish. I personally want to know more. maybe more than anything, I want to know how she lived there. What was she doing? What was it that she objected to? And what happened after she objected? And then what do I do with that? I don't know. I don't know. I add that to the story that I tell my kids about who we are and what we do. So I got this email from a professor at Arizona State University yesterday, and I'll just quote him. He says, "The worst thing about the whole case, as you know, is that the Freedom of Information officer for her unit reported when he was interviewed that all the records of the interrogations your sister conducted were destroyed. Your sister's notebook was also destroyed or lost. And so for all these years, we really haven't had any documentation of anything. I don't know if we'll learn anything, but we'll see what it is." So the Department of the Army. I wish I had her notebook. Really wish I had that. A lot of reminders. I'm assuming some pictures. I don't think that'll ever get viewed. So I wasn't ever sure if this would provide relief or guilt. Probably more guilt than anything else, but.
Why do you say that?
Well, there's just, notes in there that, her notes to herself after the suicide prevention class. And I can read them, but basically, gives me an idea. I have nothing to go back to. No matter where I go, I'm always me. Kind of this, she was never okay with herself. And then the last line in one of those is, hadn't had contact from family in 2 months. So. I know we had to do this, but I don't want those papers in my house. Take a second. I thought we'd just take out Alyssa's ball and kick it around a little bit.
Cool. What? Don't use that tongue? Oh, use that tongue. Yeah.
To me, it's still a big mystery. it's hard to sort through.
Yeah.
I bet I'll go.
We'll play.
And so what I was thinking about is, how can I look at this in a way that helps me clarify what this was? We've never talked about that as a family. We've never talked about, the reasons for it. But I think in a lot of ways, I owe it to her to relate to her experience as much as I can, to understand what she was going through as much as I can, and to find some meaning in her death.